Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2021 Keystone Montana High Country 385BR. The BR in this particular floor plan stands for bonus room, and this is an upcoming, more popular layout. Essentially what it is it's a mid-bunk, and the reason people love it is because, as you can see, you get the big rear living area that a lot of people want to sit down and relax in, plus you still have additional sleeping space for kids or guests. Let's start off, again, in this main space. As I mentioned, you have dual opposing slides, which, as you can see, really helps open this main living space up and allows for an island right here in the kitchen. On the campside slide, you'll see this one comes with your dinette. Now, they've done a couple things here which I like. One is you can see it's raised and they have lighting underneath. I like the fact that it is just a nice white light. It's not like a blue or a red or anything that really sticks out. It's just nice and kind of subtle, and in my opinion, way more classy. You will also see that the table is a little bit different. You have basically two leg lengths, pretty standard here. So what happens if you want to drop this down into a bed, you just kind of pull it up from the wall. It'll slide right in these slots. Pull this leg back. You have the shorter leg. Fairly simple. The thing I like about this, rather than like a pedestal style table, is that it's a lot more sturdy. So that way, you know, you're not going to have all your foods, you know, sliding all over, falling, things like that. More sturdy if you're going to sit here and play games. Also, if you take a look up top, you will see the windows. You have roller shades all the way throughout. Massive windows, because you have big slide boxes. I'm 6 foot tall. You can see I have plenty of space. I'm not going to hit the top of the slide box. And they took those windows all the way to the top. So you have, I mean, basically this whole slide here is all window, letting in a ton of natural light. Now, I have the shades down because if I have them open, it messes with the camera. But trust me, it does bring in a lot of light. You'll also see LED lights across the top. That is on a dimmer switch. So if you do want to dim it down at night, you have the capability to do that too. Making our way down a little bit, you'll get into the theater seating. Thomas Paine collection. This is directly across from the TV, exactly where you want it. Both of them do recline. They have USB ports if you need to charge like a phone or tablet. You can see that kind of right here in between the two switches. And again, it is powered. Now, in order to use that, do bear in mind that it's not going to run off 12 volt. You will need, essentially either shore power or have a generator running to be able to power it. But it is wonderful because, a lot of people just don't have the leg strength sometimes to be able to put the recliner back in. Here, all you have to do is touch a button. Makes it super easy. Also, if you notice the floor in the slide out, this is something that Montana went to kind of late in the 2020 model year, and I love it. It's more of a woven pattern rather than carpet, so it's much, much easier to clean. And that was a huge thing in RVs, period, when everyone kind of went to like lino rather than carpet. And again, for me, this is the next step. I think it makes sense. It looks good. It's what they use in like Airstream. And again, it's very functional. If we take a look at the back, you have a big tri-fold sofa. This is a true sofa in the fact that you have 3 cushions, not 2 like a love seat. So when this folds out into a bed, it is a nice large bed for additional guests. So if you have guests over and you want an extra place for them to stay, you will have a place where 2 adults can comfortably sleep. Again, windows all around the back. You'll see that you have end tables on both sides for any kind of drinks that you need to set up there. You have some electrical outlets, USB ports there too. Storage all the way across the top. Now, this is something that I do like, is you can kind of see they went with contrasting colors, right? And this is something that's kind of popular going into that 2021 model year, is to have a lighter color, a darker color. You see they went with lighter cabinetry, almost like a grayish is what I call it, right? It's like a gray beige color. But I do like the lighter cabinetry, but so it doesn't look washed out. They offset it with some of your darker brown tones. You also have kind of a designer glass. Looks pretty nice. You can kind of see it there on the inside. And as I mentioned, storage all the way across the top. So as I mentioned previously, you do have the theater seats directly across from the TV. That's what you have here is that entertainment center. You'll see speakers underneath. Let's see, it is this one. Push there. Drop that down. You'll see your entertainment center located there as well. That is a DVD player. If you want to watch a movie, you can pop it right in there. You'll also see a little bit of extra storage over to the side for your movie collection. And there is an HDMI port, so if you need some auxiliary equipment, like if you want to bring a Blu-ray player, something like that, you have the capability to do so. Then lastly, on the bottom is a fireplace. You kind of have this basket weave pattern all the way around it. The great thing about the fireplace, folks, is not only does it look great, but it's also functional because that's essentially a big electric space heater, and it'll do a decent job of helping to take the chill off a little bit in this room. Also, I do want to point to the ceiling because there are some features on the ceiling that are definitely worth noting. One, of course, is the ceiling fan. Helps you circulate the air in here. Another is you will see the air intakes on the ceiling rather than your square box. That's because the High Country comes standard with a quiet, cool AC. So that way, if you are back here, you're having conversation, you're watching TV, that's about 30 to 35% quieter than a normal standard AC. So that way you don't have to, turn the TV way up or yell at each other, which my wife tells me I yell at a normal talking voice anyway. So, but you can still be able to carry on conversation, which is nice. Also, I do like the light fixture. They kind of took a page out of the residential trend. You see they kind of have like the bird cage around the light. But it is a great looking light fixture. Again, it's very modern with the times that we currently have. And then you have a big vent fan here as well. This is a max air fan. It's powered, has a rain sensor on there, so if it starts raining, automatically shuts for you. And this also will do a great job. If you don't want to run the AC, maybe it's not quite hot enough, you can open up some windows, turn this guy on, and you will 100% feel that air flowing through here, which is great. Let's talk about the kitchen island. Because, this is Montana. It is a luxury fifth wheel. You will see you get luxury features if you can't tell already. It does have the solid, true solid surface countertop. With that, you have an undermount stainless steel bowl. Folks, look at the size of the sink. Your one bowl right here is big enough that that's, all some manufacturers would put in. It's nice and deep. It's, a better quality. It's a little bit thicker stainless steel. You have a smaller one over to the side. This is perfect for washing and rinsing, and you still have some prep space here as well as a place to set some of those drying dishes. It does have sink top covers as well underneath. I'll show you that in just a moment. You'll also see kind of along the sides, you have this like shiplap look, which I really like. And then if we take a look up front, you'll see a couple things here. You have an electrical outlet. You also have underlighting all the way throughout. The switch for that is on this side, so if you want to shut it off, you can. But I, again, think it looks nice. It helps kind of bring everything together, make it a little more cohesive with the dinette, stuff like that. Drawers all the way down. Plenty of drawers. Full extension, ball bearing. Open those guys up for you. So good drawer space. Also underneath here, as I promised right there, your sink top covers. You will also see a couple things. One is it has a spot to actually set them, which is really nice. Two, you have a spot to set a trash can. Montana's gotten really good about making sure that you have a dedicated place for your trash can there. Plus, you have extra storage underneath. Excuse me. The faucet is very different as well. Again, we talk about contrast. Here it is. Most manufacturers are just putting in stainless here. You have like black for the main part of it, and then just a few stainless accents. Again, a little more modern than what we're used to seeing in most RVs. And then over to the side is a countertop extension. So if you need a little bit more prep space, you can pop this guy up, and that will give you that prep space. Or, of course, you have this space over here. So this is your 3-burner cooktop. It does have the glass cover again, so you can utilize that as prep. Plenty of space on the side. Good spot for coffee makers. You have electrical outlets on both sides. Along the back, this is a panel, like a wall board, so it's not a true tile, but it is a nice panel. It's like a plastic or a composite rather than like a wallpaper. So again, that is very functional because it's easy to clean. And then, of course, you don't have the weight. That's kind of one of the things about High Country, a little bit lighter than standard Montana. So that backsplash looks good and makes sense. You'll also see here your 3-burner cooktop, 2 in the back. Your front one there is high output. You have the upgraded, little bit more residential grate on the top there. Looks like we might need to, there you go. Yeah, it comes out pretty easy. You can pull it out of the corners like that, but just wanted to push it down so that way it stops rocking around on you. Then if we drop down underneath, you will see the oven. Take a look at that oven, folks. Nice big oven there, which is awesome. So if you have some larger items, plenty of room for them. And then underneath that, you have a pull-out drawer for some additional storage. Good spot for some of your, frying pans, skillets, things like that. Storage on both sides. Open that up for you just so you can kind of take a look, get an idea of the storage space. So good storage there. Also storage on the sides here and above the microwave. large microwave. Open that up so you can take a look. It's not convection, standard microwave, but it is pretty big, so if you have some of those larger items, you can put them in there. And then over to the side is the GE Residential Refrigerator Freezer. So this is a lock, a travel lock. I did not take this out in the beginning of the video because I forgot, so I'm doing it right now. But pretty simple, has a nut on there so you can just thread it in, and then again, this part right here basically goes over all the corners of the door so that nothing comes open while you're traveling. And then open that guy up, and again, you can see it is a full residential size refrigerator. I mean, you have a ton of space in here. These guys, of course, will set in the door, so you have your door baskets, nice big freezer underneath. You can see you have it's taped up. You have more trays right there, ice maker and everything built in as well. Because this is residential, this one does run off only electric, but there is an inverter dedicated for it, so that way as you're traveling down the road, everything will stay nice and cool. And then if we take a look here, well, I'll open this guy up first. So you'll see pantry storage. I love it. This is something, sometimes it's hit or miss with these mid-bunk models, because sometimes this will be the entrance into that mid-bunk. But here instead they went with pantry, so you get that pantry space. More storage up top. You have this little area, which I like too, because if you have a cell phone you need to charge, you can toss it right in there, plug it in. Now it's up off the countertops. Then underneath you have this little bar area, countertop, again, backsplash. And that, you know, me personally, it's exactly what I'd use it for as a bar. But, you know, whatever else you want to use it for, you certainly can. A couple of drawers, whether they're bar utensils or a catch-all or whatever. And then more storage underneath. Now, you will see some of your controls are located here. There's that max air fan I told you about. You also have your thermostat here and then some of your lights. The majority of your controls, however, will be located in this panel right here. So we open that up, you'll see the majority of them are tucked away and hidden, and everything is there from your tank monitoring panel to slide controls to lights. And then one of the other things, let's see, where are they? Right here. Heated holding tanks, folks. That's a pretty big deal. If you plan on doing some cold weather camping, this one is set up for it, and that's why you have those 12-volt heated holding tanks in there. Also in the stairs, you will see this one has a central vac. So if you want to vacuum everything out, that does make it pretty easy. A courtesy light there, so if you need to get up or down the stairs in the middle of the night, you can. Now this right here is the bonus room. Again, some manufacturers call this a mid-bunk. With Montana, what you will see is that there isn't a bunk in here per se. So this gives you some versatility, some flexibility. If you look, they try to give you office space. So if you are someone that wants to work, as you're traveling, you can have your own private little office here, set up your computer. You have electrical outlets. You know, they gave you plenty of outlets right there, drawer. Again, scooch a chair up, you're good to go. If you're not going to use it as an office, but you want, an extra place for kids, not a problem, or adults, maybe you have friends coming with you. There's a spot for a TV there as well. So you can put a TV here. You have the extra space. There's a sofa. They can sit here and watch TV. This, of course, is tri-fold, so it also folds out into a bed, giving you that bunk feeling. You can see here some additional storage, and then you have a little bit there up top as well. Now, when we exit back out, one of the things you'll notice is this is not the only sleeping space. It's kind of the great thing about these mid-bunks. And it does depend on the mid-bunk because not all of them have it. But what you'll see is this guy right up here. And that is that you have some loft space. Turn the lights on up there. Again, window, you have some lights, a headboard. You'll see that you have, two essentially single mattresses. So if you need to sleep two people up here, you can do that. A built-in ladder. This, of course, makes it nice and easy to climb up there. And there is an electrical outlet up there, too. So that way, if you need to plug in cell phones or anything at night, you have the capability to do that. Here, again, just window, letting in some of that natural light. You have the same nice pull curtain. Pivot door to get into the bathroom. The nice thing about this, if you have a fifth wheel, it's a little bit older, you know this game, right? You need to enter the bathroom. You can't do it from this side because the swing door blocks you, so you have to come around to this side and then open it up, and no one wants to do that. So this helps alleviate it so you can enter from either direction. Now, when we do come into the bathroom, and it's a little tough for two people, but we'll make do. So we'll start over here on the shower. Nice thing about this, folks, it is a one-piece residential shower. There aren't any seams where the sidewalls come together. It's not like it's a base with in the walls where there's a seam there, so that way you have less chance for any leaks. This is the same thing you would have in your house. There's also a seat, which is great if you need to sit down to shower, or if you need a spot to shave your legs, or maybe you just want to load it up with shampoo and soap. You know, of course, you do have some shelves in here, but if you have, 4 or 5 people that are going to be staying the night, you're probably going to need to use that for some of those extra shampoo and soap for those individuals. You'll also see the hand wand, a nice chrome hand wand instead of the cheaper white ones. Skylight, folks, I'm 6 foot tall. I have plenty of room. I could probably be 6'3", maybe 6'4", and still be able to stand in here without ducking down, which is nice. And of course, you have the slider shower door. Mirrored medicine cabinet up top, storage behind there, a little bit underneath. It is a little tough to get in and out, right? I will say that, because you don't have a ton of space on this side. You can open it up from the other side, if you undo the travel lock, but here it is just a little bit tight. So you will see the sink top. I think I like about this too is that it is like a pressed laminate countertop or a thermofoil countertop. So it's an upgrade from a T-mold. It allows you to undermount the sink. Much cleaner look. They have the faucet off to the side to be able to maximize that sink space. Electrical outlet, 3 drawers running down the side, and boom, there it is. If you want a trash can in the bathroom, you have enough space for it. There is a max air vent here as well, and just like the one in the kitchen, this one is powered. Has the rain sensor on there, so if you need to get smells out of here quickly or just help dry it off, this will do it very, very quickly. And then right over here, again, it's a little tough because of the pivot door, but when it's closed, it's no issue at all. You have plenty of room, great shoulder space, good leg space. It is a porcelain bowl, so it's easy to clean. And then you have additional storage. You have the big cubby hole underneath, as well as these 2 right up top. So you have plenty of space for your linens, for your towels, washcloths, or anything else you need for the bathroom, whatever other bathroom goodies that you may have. Then we enter the master bedroom. Pretty good space here. You can see that you have the slide out, nice big bed. You'll have the shelves on both sides there, which are great. So if you have need a spot for your beverage or anything like that, you have it. I like the headboard as well. Again, it's kind of like almost like a reclaimed wood look, which is kind of following some of those trends. I think they did a great job there. Windows on both sides, those do open if you want cross ventilation. USB ports, electrical outlets. You do have a second AC in the bedroom, folks. Now, this is a standard AC. It's not going to be quiet cool. It's one of those differences between the regular Montana line and the high country. Your regular Montana will have 2 quiet cools. This one has 1 in the main living area and then a standard AC here in the bedroom, which is fine anyway. For me anyway, it's like white noise, right? I'm falling asleep. And then right up front is your main wardrobe. You have the shelf up top. Kind of tough to see. Let's see if I can slide this over a little bit. There are mirrors on the door too, so you want to check yourself out, you can do that. Turn this guy on. This is a motion sensor light as well, so it has 3 settings technically. It has just always on, always off, or motion sensor, so that way when you open it up, it turns on for you. But great hanging space. And then if we take a look right over here, this again, same thing with the light. And this one is your washer dryer prep. So if you want a washer and dryer, this is where it will go. Otherwise, you have these huge shelves you can just use for storage. The foot of the bed, another window there. You do have a dresser, which a lot of people don't understand the value here. I know it's something we take for granted at home, but this is a spot to put your underwear, your socks, everything else that a lot of times you just don't want to stuff into a wardrobe. And then you have a spot for your TV. Connections for that, of course, are right up top. So if you do want to watch a show in bed, you have the capability to do so. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Keystone Montana High Country 385BR. Up front is your automotive painted front cap, making it nice and easy to clean. You'll see LED lights inlaid in there as well, plus the mirror right here. So that way as you are backing up, it'll help you align your Kingpin with your hitch. Speaking of Kingpin, folks, this one is the Road Armor Kingpin. It has the pivoting head up here that helps prevent some of the chucking, which what that is when you're starting and stopping your tow vehicle, this is a lot of weight. So a lot of times you'll feel pull on the truck and it will kind of make like a clinking sound and it's kind of jerky. This will help reduce that. If you take a look underneath inside, right up front, pretty good storage. One of the things I really like about basically Keystone in general, but especially Montana, is that they have excellent cable management. So you'll see, you have wrapped wires over here, everything over to the side. Everything is kind of placed to that one area, making all of this nice and open for some of your larger items. You'll also see right underneath that this one has auto level, the ground control 3.0. So the thing I love about auto level is the ease of use. If you've had to level a fifth wheel or a travel trailer before, you know that a lot of times pulling forward and backing up on blocks and then checking level isn't the most fun thing in the world. Here, you back it in, you drop some pads underneath, you push auto level, and the RV does the rest. So if you're looking for something that's simple, auto level is huge. You'll see two 30-pound propane tanks, one on this side, another on the opposite side, so 60 pounds of propane there. And you have two huge doors. You're gonna say, Ian, what is that for? The first one is exactly what you expected, and this is your garage storage. Note, covered hinge, so it doesn't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. Slam latch. It works very well. These are big, heavy doors. You will also see they use metal components to make sure they shut nice. And then it is a magnetic catch, so that way you can put it up just like so. It's not hanging out here. Your head's not gonna run into it. And if we take a look inside, you can see exactly how much storage you have. It's one of the beauties of having a Montana is the fact that they utilize drop frame construction. And essentially what that is most travel trailers, you will have one I-beam that runs underneath, and that is your main foundation. What Montana does is they will take that I-beam and then they will take a slightly smaller one and weld that underneath and run that the rest of the way up. That drop frame, when they drop that down, gives you a ton of extra storage in here, still maintains the structural rigidity that you want. And again, you can see how much storage you gain when you do that. If you take a look inside here, you will also see that you have a light, of course. You have TV hookups if you want TV. Your inverter is on the far side. And that one, again, as I mentioned, is dedicated just to that refrigerator. I forgot to mention, we were up front, there is a disconnect for that inverter. So you'll have two battery disconnects. You'll have one in the maintenance center, we'll see a little bit later, and that's the battery disconnect for the whole thing. You'll have another one in that front compartment, kind of where the battery is, but that is actually just for that inverter. Then if we open this one up, again, same style door as the other one, and look at that, folks, you get an outside kitchen. It's one of the great things about having a bunk model, and sometimes you don't get them on the mid bunks, but they were able to fit it in here. The refrigerator, this for me is my favorite part of the outside kitchen. It's where I put condiments, beer, maybe some pop for the kids if they're lucky, some juice, but it's mainly for me, for beer. But I do like it. You'll also see right up top, some good storage right there. Of course, the light in here, electrical outlet. You have your prep surface. I also like the fact that this is like a metal, nice and easy to wipe off, clean up. And then kind of push these guys down, pull this out, you'll see your 2-burner cooktop there. So it's already built in, nice and easy. There is a propane line. You'll want to connect that underneath. You can kind of see it's hiding right there. So you'll pull that out, connect it to the quick connect underneath. And then take a look at this. It even comes with a nice big cutting board. So that way you can put this up here, prep all your food, do what you got to do. What I always tell people with cutting boards, folks, is make sure you just use one side. I'd probably use this side right here. So that way your other side, with the Montana on there, stays looking nice. Just my 2 cents. Make our way back a little bit further. You have the MORryde step above step system. Very solid aluminum treads. They don't rust. Grip tape, so that way you have more control when entering the RV. You're not going to slip. It also has this foldable grab handle. So again, giving you more control from that first step all the way in. You'll see a couple outside speakers up top in case you want to listen to some music. Those are tied to that multimedia center inside, but that unit is Bluetooth capable. 2 large power awnings, one right here above basically our main camp area. The other one is on the awning itself. And again, folks, this is a great main camp space. You have that big awning coverage. If you want to leave these up, you can. You can set your chairs up right here. You can get to the fridge nice and easy. I love that there aren't any vents or anything that are going to be blowing on you in that main camp area. You also have an electrical outlet, so if you need to plug anything in, that is the place to do it. And as this sticker shows right here, we talked about inside 4-season living. Folks, this one is built for cold weather camping. You have the fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. You have the 12-volt tanks. When we take a look on the other side, you will see the insulated valves as well to make sure that those don't freeze up on you. Because the last thing in the world that you want in the middle of winter is a big poopsicle. So, but again, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. We drop down underneath, you will see aluminum alloy wheels, not going to rust on you. You have the Road Armor suspension in there as well to help give a smoother tow while going down the road. Coming around to the back side, a couple things here. Excuse me. You will see that you do have your ladder. Looks like a bird found its way on here. We got to wash that up a little bit, but you have your ladder so you can climb up on the fully walkable roof. So you need to get up there for any maintenance or brush off pine cone sticks, things like that. Makes it easy to do so. Backup camera prep as well. Outside shower with hot and cold water access. And then if we drop down underneath, you will see right here is your hitch. So this is a hitch that is rated for 3,000 pounds. You'll see your little 4-way connector right here. So that way, if you do have a trailer or boat or something like that, you want to hook up a small trailer, mind you. You know, you don't have a 7-way plug or anything on there. And that 3,000 pound weight capacity, 300 pound tongue weight, but it does give you that ability. Or if you just want to slide in like a bike rack, you know, has 4 bikes on there, you can use it for that as well. Because this one does have the fireplace and 2 ACs, it is definitely a 50 amp unit, and that is where your detachable power cord will plug in at. Making our way up front here, we'll come to the convenience center. Open this guy up. Now, you'll see this one's on a strut, and it makes sense. You have a slide out right here. You can't lift it all the way up, so they put it on a strut, but it's no problem, right? We just duck down a little bit, not like it's in your way in your main campsite. But if we look in here, you'll see a couple things. That you have your light there, outside shower again with hot and cold water access, so we got a couple of them. Your Key TV multi-source controller. Key TV makes cable a cinch. Same thing with satellite. Basically, you plug your cable in right here and it feeds to all the TVs. Super easy. Easy winterization. Your water heater bypass is there. You can see where you will put that in, your glycol in to pump through your system. City water inlet, black tank flush. You do have power tank fill, so that way you can essentially use like city water to fill your fresh tank instead of using gravity. Battery disconnect, this is the main disconnect here, low point drains, and then as I mentioned, folks, right there are your black and gray tank valves. I do believe this one actually has a second gray tank valve in the frame. Let's go check it out real quick, Sam. But that way they are insulated. So if you are camping in cold weather, it'll make sure those don't freeze up on you. I believe, yeah. So it is kind of tough to see, but there is another gray tank valve right there. So you don't want to forget that one when you're dumping tanks. But as you can see, again, that one is going into the frame. It is insulated, so you will be protected during those cold weather months. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2021 Keystone Montana High Country 385BR. If you're interested in this beautiful fifth wheel and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what they failed, or if you were designing this RV, what you would change. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.